Hi, my name is Joseph Alai. Welcome to my channel. And today I want to talk about how to modify beliefs and obtain your desires in an imaginal act. And the reason this is the topic for today is because recently I have been building imaginal acts for people. And throughout coaching, it has been really obvious that usually when people are imagining their end in order to get their desire, they often have to also work on their assumptions and beliefs, and that ends up being the recipe to getting them exactly what they want. So let's go into that, and by the end of this, you will know exactly what I mean regarding changing assumptions and beliefs, and then also your imaginal act will contain that and the desire of your end. So before we begin, hit the like button. It does something to the algorithm so that those who wouldn't normally be able to see this will be able to see this. Also hit the subscribe button if you like broken down systematic methods on how to manifest anything that you want in a predictable way. Also hit the bell icon if you like to be notified. For every Tuesday and Friday, I release my videos around 10 p.m. London time. So anyway, let us jump right into it then. So the imaginal act is the fundamental building block of manifestation. And given that, the core of constructing reality is to experience within your imagination the desired end. The desired end must take place at a time after you've already experienced your desire. And that would mean something to the effect of you are already married, or you have already received a large sum of money, or your business has already taken off. And what you do is you construct a scene in reality, a time and space when you already have what you want, and your objective is to imagine that over and over and over until you saturate your mind with it. It should be natural, effortless. And once you do that, you will impress the subconscious, and the subconscious mind does something that we will never be able to fully track. But essentially what happens is a bridge of incidents, meaning an orchestration of events, divine orchestration unfolds, and it will meticulously cause you and everyone in your life to act, everyone in the world really, to play a part, and in a masterfully crafted, perfect way, you will receive your manifestation. And this happens in a way that is seemingly natural, as if it would have happened anyway. And that is why so many people often think manifestation is coincidence. But when you do this over and over and over, you will see that patterns evolve, patterns arise out of your persistent and consistent impressing your reality with your imaginal acts. And you will see the world change over and over and over. You will watch as your reality constantly spits out your creations and all that you desire. As long as you can imagine it from the perspective of having it, you will receive it. But now, the aspect of constructing and essentially how an assumption and belief can facilitate giving you your end result is something that I find is a consistent aspect throughout all my coaching clients, throughout all the viewers. Generally speaking, if an individual, in a lot of cases, it is just an imaginal act. It is just visualizing having the money. It is just visualizing having the wedding ring on, and that is it. However, if and when it comes about that things maybe seem to shift, but then they stop, or maybe the manifestation comes, but then it breaks down back to a position where it was prior, or something to that effect. Oftentimes, people have patterns in their lives just constantly manifesting over and over. These patterns can be from, some sort of memory that's triggered them, some sort of experience that has just impressed deeply within their mind, some conclusion or judgment that they have made that has stuck within and impressed or imprinted upon the subconscious mind, and it replicates over and over. So since we are the creator of our reality, that means that everything in this reality must come from us. And if it hasn't come from an imaginal act, then it has to come from somewhere. And usually the other place where that comes from is the subconscious, which comes from assumptions and beliefs. So for instance, if you experience patterns over and over, if you constantly get into relationships and then suddenly start getting anxious and obsessive, or say you find your ideal partner and she or he is everyone or everything that you've ever imagined that you could have wanted, your dream guy, your dream girl. But then the instant you get into this relationship, insecurities, fears, doubts arise, or the person cheats or changes their mind. And this is a pattern that happens over and over. Perhaps even when you are not in the relationship, you are cool as a fan. That was something that that used to happen to me. I would be really chill, but then get into a relationship. I would get extremely anxious and fearful, and abandonment wounds would appear. So this is essentially what I'm talking about. I could manifest the things that I wanted, but then they would turn, or I would turn, or they would change, or things would not carry on in the way that I wanted. And that is when I started to find the pattern that those assumptions and beliefs, which are essentially based upon past events, are causing the consistency of our world. So manifesting the specific person is one thing, but making sure they don't leave, they don't cheat, that your fear goes away, that's another thing. So what I have found is when you can apply both of these ideals into a single imaginal act, and you essentially pack them together where you're imagining the end related to being married, or you're imagining the end being rich, but then also changing your beliefs and assumptions, this is how you get the permanent, consistent results in your life. So when I say permanent and consistent results, what I mean is those other areas, the bridge of incidents, or the way in which people act in general, will conform to your ideals. So it's those things that you're unaware of that have been creating, those patterns that you can't trace back to an imaginal act. And what you can do is you define, this is the process of defining the assumptions and beliefs that are creating your life. You generalize what is happening. So say your last relationship, that person cheated on you. Or say maybe a couple relationships before, the same thing happened. So what you would do is generalize that. And you would say, people that I'm in love with cheat on me. Or say, in other words, you become insecure and abandonment wounds arise, and then you start acting in ways that push them away. So that is a generalization you can state as well, which would essentially mean you would construct a scenario. So the assumption or blueprint that exists that's causing that is something to the effect of, people leave me. I get insecure when I get in relationships. I receive extreme anxiety when I fall in love with someone. So that would be the assumption, and then you combine it with the desire. So what I mean by that is think, what would it be like if you no longer had that problem? So you summarize the opposite of the painful belief, such as every time I'm in a relationship, I always remain consistent. Every time I'm in a relationship, I always remain peaceful. Every time I'm in a relationship, all my partners stay with me. Every time I'm in a relationship, my partners are loyal and consistent, etc., etc., etc. So whatever it is that makes them change or you change, you summarize that thing that's happening, and then you find the opposite of that thing. And then you imagine that as if it is already true. And the thing about the subconscious mind is that it does not have the availability to have two contradictory things existing. So combining both of them into a scene, such as talking about with a friend that you're married to your specific person, and then they comment back to you like, yes, and they're really loyal, they're really consistent. That is how you essentially can combine a belief and the desire in a single imaginal act, which ultimately imagining those will change the belief and facilitate you getting the manifestation. So by essentially exhaustively going through the experiences of your life that have shaped your assumptions and combining those with your desires, watch how effectively that is in crafting your reality and getting your results in the quickest way possible. So anyway, I hope this was helpful for you. If it was, hit the like button. It does something to the algorithm. Hit the subscribe button if you like these broken down systematic techniques on how to manifest whatever you want. Hit the bell icon to stay tuned for more videos, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much.